the thing you missed most was
I sleep.
most students have the NCLEX over their head, but you don't hear much about the exit exam.
Exit exam is only twice. If you fail, that's it. Trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. Nursing is not an easy, but if you love what you do, it just becomes a habit. Enjoy it.
You guys really were amazing.
Exit exams, the NCLEX, and sleepless nights. The nursing route isn't for wimps. Dolly, a nursing student, got by with 3 hours of sleep a night and prayed constantly for endurance. Hi, this is Cindy Chamberlain, and thanks for joining me with yet another episode of The Making of a Nurse.
Hello, I'm here with Sergio Bravo again. You were in our last segment for your courageous journey through the VN program at Gurnick Academy. And you referred in that segment a lot to your support person and girlfriend, Dolly Manzanilla. But you are not just a support person. You also, by your own right, went through the program as well. Cohort number
71.
71, and both graduated in the same, both of you in cap and gown together.
Yes.
Did you start at the same time?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so you went through the same tests, the same clinicals, the same, the different places, but the same types of clinicals, the same portions, laboratories, all those things you did together.
Right.
Okay. Dolly, you had some obstacles to overcome in the program too. We had heard about Sergio's obstacles, but I wanted to hear about your obstacles going through the program. And I know that you told me in our interviews several times that the thing you missed most was
Sleep.
Yeah. So you would literally go 3 hours at a time for sleeping, and that was it. You had a huge sleep deficit as mother, as student, and you worked full time.
Yes.
So can you start out how your day went, like starting at 4 in the morning, right? What did that look like?
Sure. Well, 4 in the morning, having a partner, same thing. He would work full time as well. He goes to the same school as I go to, same program. I have to take care of him too. And I have kids as well. Our kids, which is 11 and 7. At the time, of course, they have a school as well. So I have to make sure that his stuff is ready. My kids' stuff is ready.
Like lunches, schoolwork, things like that.
Clothes-wise, make sure they're ready for the day. And then I have to get myself ready before that. I would have to drop them off while he's still sleeping because he works at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to drop the girls first to my dad's house. And then I have to get ready.
Dropping the girls off at what time in the morning? 5-ish?
Before 5.
So that he can take them to school.
My dad.
Your dad. Okay. Then you're heading across the bridge into San Jose for the program.
Yes.
Okay. And then what? What you take your didactics first?
So we have a clinical day twice in a week. So at the clinical time, they would have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, same time as I do. I have to be at the clinical site at 5:30. And then from that time, I would get off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then drive all the way from Pacifica, which is 40 minutes away from me without traffic, all the way to San Leandro to work from 3:30 or 4:30 until midnight. And then do it all over again. Have 2 to 3 hours of sleep and then do it all over again.
Yeah, so your home time was basically midnight to 4 in the morning.
Yes.
And this was for almost 2 years.
Yes, a year and a half. Yes.
Okay. And what kept you going? That's obviously intense work, determination, plus you're putting your mind to these tests of having to learn material. I mean, it's not like you could just coast it. You were learning new concepts, a whole new vocabulary. How did you master that?
Nursing has always been my passion. I've always, being the oldest of 11 siblings and being able to provide, just seeing my kids, seeing their future of what our future would be, just that opportunity to be able to finally have that license and I can call it my own and be able to work through that and pursue even further to provide a better future for, for the girls in our family. That would keep me going, seeing the girls and, seeing my family like, okay, once I'm done, I'm going to be able to provide, like seeing them always rooting for us to the point like, you guys can do this. Like, oh, and every time we pray, oh, I hope, God, please don't give them, harder patient. Please give them their license so they can actually become nurses already. So they can get a house.
So cute. I find that that's the most adorable piece of this equation to me is that your kids were like rooting and they were almost like mini nurses because they knew what mom and dad needed.
Yeah.
They knew the exam stuff was going on, like what mom and dad needed in that time frame. Yeah.
Yes. Our oldest actually, she bought a binder. She had a binder where she had put on the binder on the folder it says how to become a nurse. So she would like research of how to become a nurse, and our little one was actually, she never goes out without a band-aid. Like she always have a band-aid. Like, are you hurt? I have a band-aid. Like all the time, never fails.
So she's a mini nurse
Yes, they all are.
just by example of
Yes.
that. Okay. And then we talked in the last episode that the family had sacrificed so much that tell this episode listener what you did to reward the family after you finished.
We promised them at the beginning, we did took them to Disneyland.
Okay.
Like he said, the happiest,
Place on
place on earth, which it was a surprise for them. And we almost didn't able to go through it. Financial problem, which we can never avoid. We're newly graduated, we're newly licensed nurse, but, we're not there yet. It takes process. But we decided last minute. It was a lot of brainstorming, like, can we do it? Can we not? It got to the point where I told them, well, then you break it to them. I'm not going to say anything. Like you told them. And he had to.
do it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay. Tell me what you had shared with me something kind of vulnerable. And that was, if you gave me permission to share, you did not pass the NCLEX.
I did not.
You went in thinking you'd pass it,
Mm.
and you did not. Can unpack why you didn't and what your feelings were, and then how you've now passed it. So what the difference was for people that may be going in to taking the NCLEX, what it was that stopped you the first time.
I was rushing. I was rushing to get it done with. Like I was so eager to get that license, and between work and the family wise, I just couldn't wait any longer. And I would just study here and there. I was studying here and there, pieces by pieces, but of course, work overloaded, family, kids, and I just went into the rush. I was like, I got this. I'll just go. Like, I'll just go. If I pass, I pass. If I don't, I don't. But I knew in my heart I was not nervous at all. I was just, and I knew at that point when I kept getting simple questions, and I was told like, if you get this one, that means you're getting it wrong.
The NCLEX goes from you keep going until you don't answer them correctly enough. Like you only go so far. Is that how it scores? So you're going and then it stops scoring, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it would stop for you. So the minimum is 85 questions, maximum is 150.
If you get to the end.
If you get to the end, that means it's like they're giving you more chances. That means you're not very below and you're not very above average, or like, the passing rate, which I had to take 150 questions. I had to do all the way there, like almost 5 hours of questions.
So did you know right away that you hadn't passed?
I had a feeling on the first one that I already had the gut that I did not pass.
And then what made the difference the second time going into that?
The second time, I dedicated some time. And when I was going in, it's just, it takes dedication and, of course, always prayer and people that encourages me. And they said, like, oh, you could do it. He didn't even know that I took the second test. He did not know. He has no knowledge at all.
You didn't want to set yourself up for failure by
Yeah.
telling him, and you just kind of wanted to, okay.
Yes.
How long do you have to wait between that?
45 days.
Okay.
Yes. So it was a lot of waiting game. It was a lot of waiting game. And the thing with that is like the longer you wait And, all the knowledge is like starting to set back. So you have to keep studying for it. And, of course, I pray all the time, like, God, if it's really for me, if this is really my time, give it to me, please. Give me all the knowledge that I need to take this test. Take it with me because I can't do it without you. And yeah, as I was taking the test, it's just so easy. It's just like, not like my first where it was so hard. Like, I don't know this one. I never heard of this medicine. But on my second time, it was just like, whoa. I was like, that's easy.
So you really hadn't prepared the
Yes.
first time. Okay. And then is this test hard?
To be honest, not really. It's not. It's that the exit exam is actually more harder than NCLEX.
So and you said that in the interview. Why were you afraid of the exit exam versus the NCLEX? Because most students have the NCLEX over their head, but you don't hear much about the exit exam.
The NCLEX exam is you can take as much as you want. To be precise, it's 8 times in a year. Every 45 days you can take it. Exit exam is only twice. If you fail, that's it.
So if you fail the exit exam twice, you have to go back into the program.
Yes, you have to go back to the whole program. Start from the beginning if you really want to pursue to become an RN. Now, if you fail, you can still take the NCLEX, but you only can become an LVN in California. And that's it. You can't prolong your RN. You have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah. I can see why that one would be really the gravity of that one would weigh on you more so than the other one in that place. Okay, tell me about a time that we were talking about where you almost threw in the towel and said, "This is enough. I quit."
Well, for me, it was financial issue where I did not get approved for any personal loan. I didn't get approved for any financial aid. I had to pay out of pocket. Okay. For every month, I had to pay 1,200 every pocket. And this same person, as he was mentioning earlier, every time he would walk, I kid you not, I would duck under the table and I would ask my classmates, "Is he gone?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay," and I get out.
Financially.
Yes.
Yeah, you can say it now because
Yeah.
you've graduated now. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But yes, so it got to the time where I get
Want to see
yes,
collections.
right? So I get notice after notice, and I just like, you know what? I'm gonna go. If I go to the school, they can't just kick me out. Like, I just have that mind. But it got to the point where he pulled me out of the office and
The collection
yes,
process. Okay.
and they just told me like, you really can't. And I don't have anything. Like, there are no resources that we can pull through. I can't ask him for help because he already has his own, like, his own loan. So
Stuff.
yes, we have maxed out. Yes.
As you could. Where's the money coming from?
Yes. So I had a talk with that person, the financial person, and I had to choose between do we feed our kids, or do I pay the school, or do we provide school, like, pay the car, pay the house? Like, you have kids too. And I was crying while I was with him. And at that point, I just trying to say goodbye to my friends because there is no way out for me. There is no way that I can pay the tuition for me to continue. And
The end of the road.
that was the end of me. I was just like, that's it. I can't go on.
What turned that around, Dolly?
I was blessed enough to have people around me who get together some money that I can pay a portion of my tuition. Because at the time, I actually got hurt as well, and I was not getting paid for 4 months. And it was just,
You were injured.
I got injured from work. Yes. So we were on the leverage of losing our house. I was losing my car, and it was just, I can't do it anymore. And it was actually like, how can you manage it? Like, you're still laughing and all. And I was like, what can I do? Like, that's all I can do.
Were you the strong one then?
I was pushed into that seat, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where during her trial was where I had to max out one of my credit cards to help her out with one of those payments.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that limped you through to the next piece where you needed. Okay. And then suffice to say you finished, so that became smoother.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, your kids were pretty proud, and we're gonna bring them out in 1 minute here. Your kids were super proud of this moment, yes?
Yes, they are. They are very, very proud of us. And until this day, I mean, our little one, when we pray during, before our dinner, she goes like, "Oh, I hope they have their license and I hope they won't, and we would tell her like, we try not to laugh because like, we already got our license. Like, but thank you.
She's still praying.
Yes, she's still praying until this day. She's still praying.
And they're totally a nurse family because you said they say to you, like, may mom and dad get easy patients and may their workload be,
Yeah.
light and may they not have a double shift. I mean, they've got the lingo down, right? They've got the lingo.
They definitely do. They're like our mini nursing cheerleaders. But yeah, they're magnificent, those little ones.
Does anyone of the group want to become a nurse?
Of course.
Actually, Michaela does.
Did you? Or
I mean, they're at that confusing age where I want to be this and I want to be that. But yeah.
you tell us something funny about your nursing classes.
Oh, okay. One thing that I will never forget. Mr. Vedad was teaching our class at the time. I believe he was teaching us regarding ABGs. Like, he's really, really good at that, like explaining and everything. And at one point he asked, what is cranial number 11? And I like to sit in the front. I always do.
Cranial number 11.
Yeah,
What is cranial number 11?
So I was, and Dr. G is in the room at that time. So I was going like this. I was like, I don't know. And then he looked at me. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? I was like, I don't know. I was like, okay, who was your teacher? I was like, Dr. G taught me that. Like, that I don't know. It's how you remember. It's like, because it's the movement of your shoulder. Like, and I don't know.
We're making the motion.
Yes, because that's how I remember cranial number 11.
Cute. You guys really were amazing, and I think supportive of your parents. I feel like we should have diplomas and little hats for you guys, but we don't, sorry. So, but good job. And I know you had to give up a lot, but I can tell you this. Your parents are nurses, and they might have not have told you this, but nursing is a real solid. So you will never lack anything because they have solid careers, and the sacrifices they made are going to change your future forever. So you're really blessed. So thank you. 5 things that you would tell a student going into the program besides have a supportive person beside you.
Trust in yourself.
Okay.
Believe in yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself. If that's something that you love, it will be an easy road.
Okay.
And nursing is not an easy task, as you mentioned. It's not an easy road. Yes, you can make a lot of money out of it, but if it's not something that you love, you will just find yourself dragging yourself just for the money. But if you love what you do, it just becomes a habit.
All right.
Enjoy it.
And then both of you plan on going up the nursing ladder further, right? You plan on the RN trajectory and BSNs. Best of luck. I am so proud of both of you, knowing your stories. I just am so glad you guys made it.
Thank you for letting us tell it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a
All
pleasure,
right.
yes.
Okay, thank you.